行くぜ。ブラックマジシャンを召喚。ブラックマジシャン、まさかこれがペガサスの言っていた特殊効果を持つ新しいモンスターの一体。
So I want to start out by saying that I really like this figure. I think it's really fantastic. It's one of my favorite. It's probably one of my favorite figures that I have. I say that about a lot of figures that I have, but I guess this just means I'm really good at picking out figures to buy. Anyways, it's a Monster Arts, so obviously it's expensive. This one's $95. They tend to be pretty expensive. We could talk about the reasons as to why, but anyway. They can be kind of hit or miss, I find. I feel like that's kind of what I've heard, I think. I have two others. I have the Monster X. I also have that pink Monster Hunter Dragon thing. The Monster X is decent. The Monster Hunter one, like, it was kind of almost good, but then it fell apart. Like, it literally just, pieces were constantly falling off. It was falling apart in my hands. It was pretty terrible. This one's pretty good, though. There are some things that might bother some people. They don't bother me personally, but they could bother some other people, depending on kind of what you're looking for. But overall, articulation, accessories, the paint, I think for $95, I think is okay. Now, excuse me. So, this is what you have in the box. In addition to the figure comes with fists and hands on him, and like that stern face on him. You have 2 additional faces, 4 additional pairs of hands. You have the staff, you have the display base, you have those 3 arms that go in the base. One arm is shorter than the other ones. You have the claw that you can plug on onto one of the arm stands. I think the instructions show it plugged into the short one, but I think you could plug it into any of them. Then you have that little slot thing that you plug onto the arms that you use to hold up the circular thing there. And then also the orb that just plugs directly into the stand. Those are the hands that you get, including the fists. That's all of them. So there's all the hands. You do have the gripping hands, the fist hands. You have a couple of different posed hands to choose from. Pretty good spread of hands. Those are the phases. They're pretty good, I think. I really like that little smirk. That's pretty fantastic. The yelling one looks good. Paint is very clean, actually. I don't know if it shows up super well, but the yelling one, that is like a very deep red on the inside of the mouth. It kind of looks almost black in my photo there, but it is like a very nice deep red. It's actually, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I think it looks pretty darn good. Those hairs, so you have the shorter one essentially tucks into the collar, so it's like his hair is kind of tucked into his outfit, and then the longer one basically is like his hair is like flowing out or whatever. Pretty effective. There's with a tucked in thing, and there's with it the other way. Pretty good. There's a staff. It's a good looking staff. I think it's painted well. The one thing, the orb, it's like a dark green orb thing on the end of the staff. The top of it is like not painted, I think. Like it's like it's hard to see. It's not very noticeable, but if you look at it at the right angle, if it catches the light like just the right way, you kind of see the very top part of that orb sphere thing. It's not dark green. It's like that bluish greenish color that the rest of the staff is, and it's just like not the right color. It, again, you usually will never see it, but if you do see it, it's like, oh, that's kind of not quite right. Not a huge deal, but yeah, it comes apart, so you can slide it into the hand, which is always nice. Makes things a lot easier and smoother. There's the effect piece that it comes with. I don't think there's any paint on it or anything, but it's like transparent. It's nice. I think that's pretty effective. Again, yeah, it just plugs right on the stand, and it, yeah, I like it. Not bad. I think it's probably called something in the show. Like it's probably specific move that he does. I honestly don't really know. There's the circle item thing. You kind of put that in that slot thing, and then you put it on the arm, and you put the arm in the stand, and you kind of have it behind him. It looks like he's summoning a bunch of things, I guess. The way it goes into the slit, I'm a little worried that it might scratch it. There's like little tiny little like micro like scratches a little bit like here and there that I think are just from the factory maybe. And then it's like obviously it's very easy to get your fingerprints on it too. So I'm a little worried about like if you take this in and out of that slot, it might scratch it up a little bit. But you don't really need to like take it back off once you put it on there, so maybe it's not that much of a big deal, but just something to be aware of. As far as the aesthetics go, I think he's good looking, honestly. I think he's really, really good looking. I think the paint overall is pretty clean on him. The sculpt is good. I think the faces really sell it. He's kind of a smaller head, smaller face, but the faces really give you a lot of just, the eyes look great, the blue eyes, the mouth, there's not like a ton to it, but it's done pretty well in my opinion. The metallic is great, the different finishes are great, like the robe is a very flat finish. I like that a lot. Actually, the one thing I will point out, if you can kind of see it here, the robe section, it's like it's a different color, it's a different finish, and then he has a metallic, metally section of his outfit. You can see the more violet-y color extends up into the upper torso underneath that metallic purple overlay thing, right? And on that torso piece, the upper torso piece, that part of the outfit, that's still part of the robe section of his outfit, it has a different finish because it's a different material. Like if you look at like the mid torso section, that's like a flat finish, and so like it's hard to explain it really, but the way it continues up into the upper torso piece, it just changes finishes, it changes materials like kind of halfway through. In that photo, it's not super noticeable. In person, it is pretty noticeable. It's like, I don't know, not like a deal breaker for me, but you can see like that's supposed to be like part of the robe, but it doesn't look like it's part of the robe. It's kind of weird. So, Also, similarly, if you look at that diamond on his back, I couldn't find a picture of him from behind, but I don't know. So I don't know if that diamond is supposed to have like the metallic purple part of it, because it kind of looks like almost like it's supposed to, but it doesn't. So I don't know what's accurate, but either way, I think it looks okay. The other inaccuracy that I do want to mention, that big collar piece that goes up behind his head, it's actually supposed to be like a, if you look up the images of him, so like on the internet, all the images I could find of him, the card art, pictures of him from the anime, it actually is supposed to be like sort of like a bluish I think it's supposed to actually match like the robe section. It's actually supposed to match that purpley, that violet-y color. It's supposed to look like that, but it looks like they try to match it more to the metallic section, which it looks good that way. I think I might prefer it that way. Making it that violet-y color seems like a weird arbitrary detail. I think it looks better this way, but it's technically not accurate. So you may prefer it that way. I don't know. I don't. But anyways. There's little swirly things. Careful with those, because that does stick out. It's a brittle plastic that it could snap off, and the robe does like to get caught underneath it. It gets caught under it, like that hook part, and that if that happens and you try to move the robe, it might snap off. So do be careful with that. But anyways, there's the leg. The musculature looks solid there. There's a thigh, the calf. I mean, it looks pretty good. There's the arm. As you can see, like the lavendery line there is not bad. It's like bleeding over slightly, but not like super noticeable. There's a picture of the face. Not bad. There's shading on the robe. It's not spot on perfect, but it's definitely fine. Probably good enough for me, at least. So, the other thing I do want to point out, actually, the shoulder pads. I'm trying to find a better photo. So, like, those lines, it's actually supposed to line up with those purple lines, like on his chest, and they don't here. Because they are posable, but they don't really, like, you can kind of finagle them and kind of get it to line up, sort of, but even if you could do it, once you start posing his arms around, it just falls all out of place. So it's kind of like, it's not perfect, and it definitely looks disconnected. To me, just from like a character design standpoint, it looks okay, but as far as being accurate, yeah, again, yeah, it doesn't quite match up. Similarly, as you can see here, the helmet has that same problem. That collar piece is supposed to connect with like the helmet section. It doesn't. I guess for like articulation purposes, it's not bad, but I think I would have just liked to have it connected. It doesn't save you that much range. Maybe a little bit, but I don't know. Is it worth it? What I would, maybe they could have had the head like a separate piece that moves within the hood or something like that. I'm not sure, but it is, that to me is probably the biggest eyesore, that collar not being connected. That would have looked a lot better, I think.
So I guess, yeah, we'll just go with the articulation. Okay, so let's just start from the bottom to the top. Okay, so there's his foot. It's about that much back. Not much forward. There's a toe joint, if that's your thing. If you're a toe guy, if you're a toe person. There's some tilt. I guess, yeah, you can get it pretty tilty. Bit of a weird angle, but it works. Knee joint. That's just with one joint. Use both. You get decent range. Let me see if I can play with it a little bit. Yeah, not bad. I mean, he's pretty thin. You know, shouldn't be too hard to articulate him, but you know, it's fine. Splits, he can go higher than this. Problem is just his robe section. Even though it moves up like this, it's just gonna be in the way a little bit. So I don't know. Thigh swivel works, no problems there. As far as kicking forward, you can move the robe out pretty far. So, you know, you can make it work. I mean, put it to the side, get a little further. You can make it work for whatever it is you're trying to do, probably. On that note, yeah, the skirt thingies, they go out. They're also, yeah, this is like a softer plastic sort of material, and they are hinged, as you can see. It's got like that little peg in there. His hat fell off. Whatever. Who needs hats? Stupid. Not supposed to be wearing them indoors anyway. It's considered rude. What an asshole. So that bottom joint on that lower torso joint, just that bottom joint, you get that much. That's pretty good. Not bad. Let's see if I can get him side to side. The other day, I think I kind of accidentally popped it off, so it might pop off live on camera. Not a ton. As far as going back, freaking arm out of the way. Not bad. And that upper joint, gonna look like that. Not amazing. forward, it has that weird spiky diamondy design. So it's like, not gonna work great. It can lean on that top joint, you know. So if you use both joints, I mean, you could definitely get it done. I think I popped his leg off. Boy, I hope that's not broken. No, that just popped off. Can I pop it in? Can I pop it back in? Live on camera? I can. Alright. Good. That never happened to me before. Okay, where was I? Actually, there's something I wanted to mention with the aesthetic. I'll do it after. Alright. So the wrists, it is on the... Let me just pop this off and I'll show you. It's like one of those, the ball joint, and it's like a hinge, and then it also rotates at the base of the wrist. So that's a good way of doing it. How much range does it actually give you though, you know? And that's fine. And then the ball does give you some wiggle waggle. The thing is, I was hoping, actually I guess you can. So you can get a decent amount of backwards. It gets a little dislocated, but that's fine. I mean, it's, you know, it's good for holding the staff and stuff. Anyways, double jointed knee, I mean elbow. It's a joint, whatever, it's all the same shit. Bicep swivel, no problems. Actually, there's a problem. It will hit that purple swirl a little bit. So, it doesn't go all the way around, but it goes around decently. There's about butterfly joints in there that goes in and out. Then you have like a hinge in the elbow that plugs into the arm and then plugs into the shoulder, and that also is on a ball joint, so you can get a lot of decent range on there actually. And the head, all these are floating pieces, all these little bits. Base of the neck has, I believe, a single ball joint thing. On the top of the neck, there's some kind of thing going on. But, you know, not bad. Tilting is like, it's alright.
Okay, so here's actually a measurement here. So he's a little bit, the top of his head is probably like just over 6, maybe 6 1/4, if that. Top of his hat is almost 8 inches, maybe 7 3/4. He's kind of tall. There's him with a Monster X. I have him on those 2 weird stands because he's kind of hard to stand up. Optimus Prime. I don't know what to compare this guy with. I really don't. A Necron from Warhammer, the Joy Toy. I actually have a Black Luster Soldier model kit, but I didn't get around to building him because I'm too lazy. So sorry about that. So yeah, I mean overall, I pretty much pointed out any of the problems. It's not like perfect. There's little things over here and there, but I like it. His joints move very nicely, creamy, smooth joints. You know, I think $95 is expensive, but I don't think it's gonna disappoint you. If you want something that's super accurate, super clean looking, you know, it's not. It may disappoint you in some ways, but to me, like, I just want like a cool figure. Like, I just want like a cool looking figure of Dark Magician. I like that character design. I just want something that looks like that looks cool like that. And it looks like that. You know, it's just a cool looking figure. Again, the articulation works well. He's a fun figure. He's fun to pose around. He's just a fun figure, and I like him a whole bunch. So I think that I don't think you're gonna be disappointed. I think he's one of the good Monster Arts for sure, in my opinion. Very happy with it, actually. So yeah, that's really that's about it. That's all is to say about that. And so yeah.
I'm the one that celebrities call for their kids' birthday parties. We have